Okay, Joey Butts from Paddle for Heroes here, and I'm going to show you guys something that I learned on YouTube, how to repair some of these gouges in this canoe. This is one of the canoes that we use on our river cleanups. Okay, these are the tools you'll need, and if you got any like an old tarp laying around, that's what I'm going to use, and you can cut it into strips. And a putty knife, a lighter, some sandpaper, and a torch. You can't just use a lighter, but a torch will work better. This little piece of sandpaper, and that's all you'll need. Okay, so this gouge right here is the one I'm going to work on. And as you can see, I've got my torch going, and I've got my strip here that I'm going to use. I'm going to heat my putty knife up. So you can see, just heat it up, get it real nice and hot. I've got my putty knife really hot. I just get this and I work it in. And keep doing it over and over until I fill the gap, or fill the gouge. So here's a top view of what it looks like. You just keep working it in there, heating your putty knife up. As you see, it's a pretty deep gouge there that I'm working on. Now here's another spot that I'm working on. You can see how it works, and it dries really hard. So I'm going all the way up here this way.
Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suave, bésame, bésame, suave, bésame otra vez. Suave, yo quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suave, besa, besa, bésame un poquito. Suave, besa, 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 bésame. Cuando te veo, comienzo a besarte, y si te despegas, yo me despierto de ese rico sueño que me dan tus besos suavemente. Bésame, que yo quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez suavemente. Ese coro, bésame, es la cosa. Yo quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Bésame.
Now on this boat, I opted not to sand it down. On a nicer boat, you might want to sand it down, but I just reheated my putty knife and just went over it and spreaded it out real good. This is my cleanup boat, the one I use on cleanup. So you can see, if I was to try to fill every gouge, I'd be here all day. But I just fill the problem ones. And then what I like to do is paint it. But I use this paint. You can pick it up at Walmart. It's called a Camouflage 2X Ultra Cover paint. It's it goes on kind of thick, very similar to a Kark paint. If you're familiar with that, it's what the military uses on all their vehicles. This is not that, but it reminds me of that. So it goes on thick, and it'll help protect your boat. Of course, it only takes a few times and then it all gets scraped off again, but if you're wanting to get some mileage out of a junk boat, this is the way to go. And that's how to fill gouges. Now on a nicer boat, you just take a fine sandpaper and go over it. I actually have done that on my Old Town. I'll show you guys the result real quick. And this is what I did on my Old Town. Same method, except I sanded it down. This actually I hit a piece of rebar sticking up out of the river from an old bridge, and this came real close to going all the way through. As you can see, it's a pretty sturdy repair job.